version of Let's Talk Tobago. Now in this version, we're bringing to you all the stories and events that took place in Tobago over the past week, but in a shorter and sweeter way. So we continue to keep you informed, and this week we're coming to you from Salmon Grove and Flamingo Villa. So we're going to go inside so you get to see exactly what this villa looks like while we share our lineup of stories with you. Flamingo Villa is amazingly beautiful. It has 4 bedrooms and it can sleep up to 14 guests comfortably. And it's comfortable enough to share our lineup of stories with you this week. So what are we going to share with you? Well, a new credit union opens in Tobago, schools across the island begin to receive smart garden units, and we take you to Pembroke for the THA's latest district town meeting.
Don't miss Let's Talk Tobago. Here's our schedule. Tobago Channel 5, Saturdays 6 p.m. Rebroadcast Sundays 8 p.m. Tobago Updates, Mondays to Fridays 6:30 a.m. M&D TV, Mondays 9 a.m. and Wednesdays 9 p.m. And Gael TV, Mondays and Wednesdays 11 a.m.
The Tobago House of Assembly administration is putting its money where its mouth is by going into communities to hear the issues and concerns of community members. So we're going to take you to Pembroke right now for the latest town hall meeting hosted by the Tobago House of Assembly. Come with us now as we take you to the latest installment of the Executive Council District Meeting as residents of Bell Garden, Richmond, Pembroke, Glamorgan and Goldsboro got a chance to lay out all their concerns before the Executive Council of the Assembly.
We know that over the last couple months, particularly in October and November, we had some of the heaviest rains and landslides and all of that happening for the entire island. And there are many of you who have actually been displaced, or we've had to actually move you from where you are living because it was simply not safe. That process is an ongoing process. If you recognize that there is now a sign placed at the field that specifically says no theatering of animals, that is actually one of the steps in us getting to the point, and I'm saying it here because I am hoping that the individuals are listening and they would prevent us from having to follow all of the steps.
Meanwhile, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine addressed the electricity and water issues in Goldsboro and major issues in the electoral district.
It seems as if we are almost there in finally solving the water crisis in Goldsboro for the farmers. Secondly, TEMA has already started electrifying the area for the farmers in Goldsboro. It's not a simple fix for the Bad Rock situation. In order to fix Bad Rock, it means that we have to completely cut off that roadway from traffic in order to fix it. If we completely cut off the Bad Rock roadway, it means that we will get no fuel, for example, for the gas stations going eastward. We won't get, they won't have anywhere to pass. The buses already drop people by the Pantent and by Bay Road Junction because the buses are refusing to go up.
Then residents got to air all of their concerns and get responses.
We are requesting the speedy renovation works of the Youth Empowerment Center. We started our youth club in 2013, and when we registered with the Department of Youth Affairs and Sport at that time, they allowed us to use the Youth Empowerment Center that is directly attached to the community center here. There were some issues, and then this community center had to be reconstructed, so we were left without a home.
Just last week, the valuation report from the tenders came in. The contract should have been issued already. We expect that the work will begin in this month of March.
For years I've been hearing that funds will use to fix the road. I see guys came with shovel and pickaxe, and after my brother take a pity of them, they never came back. So I want to know what is happening with Cow Farm Road.
Yes, the road is in a deplorable state, and I'm sure the guys at the PMO have a project designed for it. And as soon as we are able, we will attack that.
Do you have an idea of what is a smart garden unit? Well, in case you don't, Omadara Mills will tell you what is a smart garden unit and the purpose of the collaboration between the division in charge of food production in Tobago and the Division of Education. Listen up.
Today was the handing over of the smart self-watering system. This is the first school that's going to be receiving. Obviously, like it says, it's going to water the plants. It works with a timer, and the schools will be able at least to have that level of innovation being brought to the children so that they could see the different gardening techniques.
It fills my heart with joy to be the first recipient to receive such a device. For the pupils, they will be learning new ways of engaging in agriculture. As I said, for example, if we are not here, the watering will be done automatically, and they won't have to worry about loss of crops, and have to worry about coming in to water the plants and so on. When you have schools with small spaces like this, it will be good, so you can use it as a container device to engage in your gardening project.
We saw the importance of introducing the smart garden unit so that we can start nurturing the children, not only into more attractive methods of farming, but also to reduce the impact of climate change. So these methods are just a step further into exploring the different types of hydroponics and self-watering systems that can be utilized to ensure that we have a sustainable agriculture in the future.
All the schools will be contacted and they will be receiving it. It's just that different schools will receive different levels. So as this is a preschool, it will receive the 3 levels. The primary school will get the 5 levels depending on the size. Secondary schools will get the 7 level.
From vocational skills training to budding entrepreneur, that's the story of the owner of Anthea's Designs. Producer Omadara Mills chatted with her, and you'll hear more of her story right now.
It's not just sewing, but it's just you're giving out a part of yourself when you do a product. You're not just sewing a bag, but it's like you put in your signature on what you make. They could say, like you could see, this is Louis Vuitton, this is Dolce & Gabbana. They could see, this is Anthea's Design. So you are putting your artwork then, your creativity. It opens ways for you to be creative.
37-year-old Anthea Agard established Anthea's Designs in 2021. From 2019 to 2022, Mrs. Agard completed 3 vocational skills courses offered by the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, as well as YTEP. They are handbag design, drapery and linen, and dressmaking and design.
I'm very grateful that they offer these kinds of courses so that it could, you are adding to yourself. You're helping to build yourself other than sewing bags. Because I learned drapery, I also want to enter in that field so it could be not just bags, it could do other stuff. And I got openings after graduation, persons were coming, they wanted throw cushions, they wanted balances, So because of learning this course, it opened doors for me. I'm very grateful.
Anthea hopes to have a brick and mortar store where persons are able to purchase handbags and other products that are sewn or crocheted using a variety of materials. She also wishes to export her merchandise.
The feedback has been good because there are some people, they see through pop-up shops, they would come, they might see a product, they want it custom made, There are persons who reach out to me on Instagram. They need a gift item for their loved one and that kind of stuff. People they might see through sewing for my mom too. I did a bag for her and somebody saw they wanted one too as well, so it just opening doors.
Check out Anthea's products via Facebook at Anthea05, on Instagram at Antheas.designs. You can also call 763-0580. I'm Amadaro Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're going to take a break, but do not go anywhere because we've got lots more stories to share with you. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
Yo, Tobago, son of the soil. My name is Yvonne Stewart, and you're watching Let's Talk Tobago.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. I'm sure you're all familiar with the TWCU Credit Union. Well, it has opened its doors in Tobago at the Port Mall in Scarborough. So we're going to take you there right now.
After over 6 decades of existence, the TWCU Credit Union has opened a branch in the sister isle Tobago. It was long in coming, but it has finally reached. This credit union was formed to accommodate and facilitate low-income families who needed a means of saving. Now, TWCU is expanding into Tobago. This milestone is being celebrated for bringing a 27th credit union to the island.
The establishment of this member-owned cooperative institution provided an opportunity for low-income members to save and obtain credit to meet their needs in an era when they were unable to have easy access to banks to meet financial needs.
For some time, due to the increase in membership and growth in status, there have been several requests from members. It is our hope that this new facility will serve as a catalyst to attract new members, particularly youth members. By the same token, it is an opportunity for members to invite relatives and friends to become members of the society. In addition, now is the time for inactive members to revive their membership status to be fully active.
Today, the fact that we are here within the first quarter of 2023 to open this branch is a very positive sign for the economy of Tobago at large. Tobago in and of itself has had a very long and beautiful and successful story with the credit union movement. Congratulations on this milestone. Congratulations on having this office as a forerunner to celebrating your 73rd year in business. That's quite a lot of years.
The TWCU Credit Union is located on the 2nd floor in the Port Mall in Scarborough. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
So while on vacation in our slice of paradise, Tobago, you may choose to stay in one of the very cozy master bedrooms here at Flamingo Villa in Salmon Grove Development. Now it's time to share another story with you. This time, the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development recently met with hardware owners in Tobago to discuss how they can benefit from upcoming projects. Here's more.
The Secretary of the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development recently met with hardware owners to discuss upcoming projects and how they can benefit. Here's how it went.
We saw it fit to invite the players around the table. This is something that I'm not sure if it has been done before, but my thing about it is that information is needed to get persons ready for what is coming to the fore. I tend to do things differently, and I like my people to be informed so they could be prepared. We are looking at Chauvin, we are looking at 400 plus units. We are looking at Adventure, I would say minimum 125 units. Adelphi in Mason Hall, that is behind the works office, we're aiming at 100 units. Now, because of the budgetary constraints, we are looking for design build finance. Are we prepared? It is not something that will start next week. I will say after we finish issue our RFP and we select a candidate, a contractor, they take another 2 months or so to get their financing, stuff like that. I would say later in the year, but we are working on a tight schedule. But I am hoping that you all could supply what is needed.
If you go and make an investment and purchase material, whether we get it from China or Spain, yes, most likely most of us sitting in the room would have to take some form of lending criteria. You have to meet some form of lending criteria to acquire that volume of goods. So it sounds like it's unguaranteed, but yet you're asking us to come to meet to have the conversation about making an investment that does not guarantee us some fruitful long-term.
When a contractor is selected, it is the onus is upon you all to have the conversation and see what you all could cement. Because we cannot tell someone how to spend $100 or $200 million. They bring in their own money, they were getting paid down the road. So this is why I'm saying, from the time the contract is issued, the onus is upon us to get and say, okay, we could provide this service at this, let me see what cost price, this is what we could offer it, and have a negotiation going on. That's what I'm asking you all to do, is get to the table.
Talking to the contractor, a contractor coming to make love, he's coming to make money. And to facilitate us, there has to be a conversation.
The onus is upon you all, because you all know the volumes you turn over. You all will know exactly what it takes or what is required of the investor. So then you are the bargaining table. Because I mean to say, what you're saying is right, is that you all have been burned before. I don't bring in anybody to be precautious with going forward. But the onus is upon you whenever it is selected. The world will know who the contractor is. And I'm asking you, just like how the joiners got together and formed their contractors association and had a discussion with the project manager. This is XYZ. And it went well.
Thank you very much, sir, and to the team that came out today.
I want to endorse what she said. And Mr. Fuller, thumbs up to you from the department.
And that's a wrap. That's how we ended this edition of Let's Talk Tobago. Thank you so much for joining us. If you aren't following us on social media as yet, ensure that you do. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want more information on this villa, Flamingo Villa, you can email villas@charmingwatersresorts.com, or you can call them at 682-3436. I'm Davia Chambers saying see you next week from a different location, but same time. Bye-bye.
Let's talk Tobago. You're watching Let's Talk Tobago. This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better this is your show. More, live more.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning. It is a beautiful Monday morning, and we are really happy to be in your company. I am Ria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Joining me this morning is the beautiful...
Good morning. I am Brittany Romeo, and it is a pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy to be celebrating this week with Ria. So welcome, good morning, Tobago, and let's have an amazing time today.
Now, Brittany, our viewers have no clue what we're celebrating this week, so I think we need to let them know.
Oh, really? They don't?
Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Okay, all right, that is true. So this week is all about International Women's Day. Can you imagine it's 2023 and we're here again celebrating another series of International Women's Day. And we have a lot in store because we will be celebrating women whole week.
That's right. So today we've got Brittany, we have an all-female cast.
Yes.
All of our guests, I tell you, it's just about women. We wish we had some female camera persons behind there, but we have camera 2 on this side.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, maybe I think things aspire to for 2024.
You never know. Maybe we need to just have a call, and you might never know who might just show up and be like, hey, I'm a woman and I'm ready to do the camera. So you never know.
Here's hoping. Julian, we miss you this morning, but
Yes,
we know that you're going to be enjoying this week off.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can't wait for November for International Men's Day.
That is true. That is very true. So at this point, we are all about the women, but don't worry, in November, we'll be about the men.
That's right. Well, viewers, we're going to head on over into news in 90 seconds with Candice.
Yes.
Thank you, Rhea and Brittany. I am Candice Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, 6th March 2023. Tobago-born lightweight boxing champion Claude Noel is now the subject of a police investigation for elder abuse. A cell phone video circulated online depicting Noel with an amputated leg, struggling to see and find his wheelchair while the videographer looks on. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services released a statement saying that Noel appears to be at a home in Tacarigua. However, they are unaware of his amputated leg. A visit is planned to assess his condition and provide a prosthetic leg. Noel is a beneficiary of a Special Achievers Grant. Meanwhile, police are investigating the case for possible elder abuse based on the video. Meanwhile, Dwight York released details regarding his bitter exit from Macarthur Bulls in Australia, accusing the club of cowboy behavior and unprofessional conduct. York's outburst triggered an immediate parting of ways, with club sources inferring his comments breached the terms of his contract. However, York revealed that the outburst came after he found out that one of his players was fired from the team, as the other players were boarding a bus to a match. He said the hierarchy lacked class and should have called him into the office to address the situation, but instead blocked the player from going back to the club. And nationally, the opposition sent a team of lawyers to East Port of Spain seeking to represent residents evicted following clashes with HSC officials and law enforcement officers on Friday. The UNC said they will defend citizens' rights and freedoms against the PNM's attempt to create East moorings in East Port of Spain. However, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, told the UNC not to use the situation to gain political mileage. Duke defended the residents on Friday and highlighted their plight. And that was your news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Rhea and Brittany.
Thank you so much there, Candice, and happy International Day going out to you as well. All right. Well, Brittany, who else do you need to shout out this morning? Who are some of those solid women in your life that you need to recognize?
So many. So first off, I want to big up my mom, because my mom is such a hardworking woman and she continues to inspire me and to push me. I have so many. So I also have my best friend's mom, Lisa Shaw, and she is also an amazing woman. I have the persons that I work with, because I do teach at Bishop's High School, so there are a lot of amazing women there who do amazing things. So if I don't want to call no names, because they'll be like, okay, why didn't call this one over the other?
No, once you start, you've got to go all the way through.
So big up the female staff of Bishop's High School. Also big up the female staff of Speyside High School, because I used to work at Speyside High School as well.
You go, Brittany, go Speyside.
Yes, and Bishop, and Compre, because of course, Compre did win the National Secondary School Championships at last week. So that was really good as well. So kudos to the new principal, because she's doing an amazing job.
That's right. Take that, Julian Ski. All right, so we're gonna head on over. We're gonna get to some other shout outs for International Women's Day. As you know, it will be commemorated on the 8th, which is Wednesday. But all week long, we're gonna be celebrating the women. Now, we're going to head on over into our birthday segment.
We have a lot to celebrate today.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. So we have got our guy here, Kern Johnson, celebrating his birthday. Kern, love going out to you this morning. Happy birthday to you from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
We also have the lovely Teresa Allen. You look absolutely gorgeous. Happy birthday to you on your day today.
And Candice Otley is there celebrating her birthday.
Yes.
Candice, happy birthday from all of us here at Tobago Updates. Wow, a lot of celebrants today.
Yes, we also have Inspector Mahalia Bacchus. You look lovely. Happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing day today.
And this is our guy, Arundel Brewster, celebrating today. Arundel, love going out to you from the entire Tobago Updates team.
Ooh, we have a lot of birthdays today. Miss Khadija Ali Samu Harris, happy birthday to you. I hope you have an amazing day.
I trust that she will.
Yes.
She's been on a roller coaster these last few months. We've got Kern Daniel celebrating his birthday. Kern, love going out to you today. Yes. We trust that you have a really great one from all of us here at Tobago Update.
And last but not least, Miss Alyssa Ross, happy birthday to you. Hope you have an amazing day today and send a message. Let's see how you celebrate your day today. And Denise Henry, happy birthday. Hope you're having a good day as well. We have a lot of days. So we also have Nicole Williams Wilson, happy birthday to you. And another one, our own track star, Anson Moses. Happy birthday.
That's my
Hope
guy.
you have an amazing time. And another one.
We do indeed. And this is Mom Christine Benoit Hackett. Celebrating her birthday.
Lovely.
Christine Benoit Hackett.
Looking
and
lovely
love going out to you. All right. Trust that she has a really great one there.
Yes.
And to all of those persons celebrating birthdays, have a really great day today. So let's see what's happening on the rundown, Brittany. Who we're going to be starting things off with today.
So we have a lot of persons in here today. So I'm seeing we have a Karen Frank. She's going to be from the oncology unit of the TRHA. So most likely she will be talking about women's health and how we need to make sure and protect ourselves as we get older as women. So
as
that
we
might be
mature,
something. Yes, mature. I should not say older.
I felt it when you said older.
I'm sorry. As we mature, because that is not a word we should be using. So that should be good. We also have Zanara Lewin, and she's going to be here talking from TEMA. And this is going to be interesting because TEMA is celebrating 25 years already. Who knew? Who knew on that?
And who do we wrap things up with?
We actually have Miss Onika Maj. She is the president and founder of Women of Substance. So, of course, she's going to be coming to talk about her I Am Beautiful, the workshop. So that is definitely something we need to look forward to because it sounds like it'll be very eventful and impactful as we continue to celebrate and commemorate International Women's Day.
That's right. So we're certainly looking forward to this packed program.
Yes.
And again, all women, all week long, every day.
Yes.
It's all about us.
Yeah. And it should always be about us, not just for 1 week. It should always be about women and celebrating women because they have done so many things and continue to be the backbone of our society in a regular. So let's celebrate the women every day.
That's right. Let's celebrate them indeed. Well, viewers, we've got lots more coming up on the program this morning. And again, we want to thank all of you viewing us here on M&E TV, Gael, whether you're looking at us from YouTube or Facebook. We say welcome, welcome. It is the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we are coming to you live from the 3rd floor, Port Mall.
Yes.
Lower Scarborough, Tobago. And the viewers, even as we head on over, it's your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Naturally, most persons think that gender automatically refers to a male or female. However, the term can be used in many instances. The gender unit within the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection assists persons in vulnerable situations. Gender Officer Nigel Phillip explains the unit's responsibility in detail.
We address issues of gender-based violence. We address issues of matters that deal with students at schools. So we are in the schools, we are in different programs throughout Tobago, men's group. We address issues that affect both men and also issues that affect female.
For the gender unit to be effective, Philip states they need to have persons on the ground to assist. This currently consists of different NGO groups, religious-based organizations, agencies in Trinidad, and the Ministry of Gender Affairs. The unit also works with the United Nations.
So what we do in terms of we address issues of gender-based violence. So we provide support for persons who come into our office that is affected by gender-based violence. We also work very closely with the TTPS, the police services, the victim and support unit. When cases of domestic violence or gender-based violence come to hand, they will refer the matter to us.
In addition to the unit's large portfolio, they give further intervention when needed. They provide support to NGOs by means of training in how to deal with violence and violent situations. They also provide support by means of funding for various programs.
Presently, right now, from 2020 to present right now, we have been working with the Spotlight Initiative. The Spotlight Initiative is a program designed to assist persons who in gender-based violence. So it educates them. We have different aspects of the program, and one of those aspects is that where we work with those NGOs. So the training that we will offer them is like training, like we had training in sexual violence and how to deal with sexual violence. We have training in, we would have done training in shelter management, and we would have tried to do training with key persons on the ground.
Key persons on the ground are inclusive of the judiciary, the police services, first responders, and medical services. These trainings also include support training and learning how to gauge persons when they come for support.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning, and this is the Tobago Updates morning show, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall, 3rd floor, Port Mall, Lower Scarborough, Tobago. And viewers, this week it's all about International Women's Day, which is being commemorated on Wednesday, the 8th of March. But we celebrate all week long with an all-female cast, all-female guests, just for you. And who better to start off the week with none other than Nurse Karen Frank, who is the head nurse at the oncology unit attached to the Tobago Regional Health Authority, or the TRHA. Along with her this morning, we've got Miss Rose Ambrose, who is in charge of prevention and screening. She's a nurse, the nurse in charge of prevention and screening attached to the TRHA. Our focus today is on International Women's Day's activities, or the TRHA's International Women's Day's activities. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
It's really good to have you on the program with us today. Now, I like the fact that we're starting off with you guys this morning. You know, when we talk about International Women's Day, we talk about women being able to, in fact, we wear so many hats. We take care of husband, we work we have our careers, we're doing so many things. And we oftentimes leave ourselves for last. So right now, the focus is on taking care of you first. So let's start with you this morning, Nurse Frank. You are the head nurse attached to the oncology unit.
Yes,
Give us an idea this morning of, I mean, you're there every day, Monday to Friday. What are the numbers looking like in terms of cancer coming into the oncology unit? More women, more men.
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers. We see a lot of both, because we have breast leading in women and prostate leading in men. So we have equal share of men and women.
Wow.
The issue is they don't stop coming. We have a lot of breasts and a lot of men. Breast cancer, not only in women, also in men. We have one person being diagnosed, one female being diagnosed every day with breast cancer.
So you're
and
saying
we have
that
2 females dying every 3 days from breast cancer.
I think I
so
need
the
you
issue
to
is
repeat
real.
that needs to hit home and sink in.
We have one woman being diagnosed with breast cancer every day as we speak. This is Trinidad and Tobago statistics.
Right.
And we have 2 dying every 3 days.
From breast cancer?
From breast cancer. 1 woman, 1 out of 9 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer.
That's a lot.
It is definitely a lot. And we try to contain it as best as we can by telling or educating persons as to screening methods, prevention methods, but that's as far as we can go. Education, education.
And Rose, this is where you come. This is where you come in now, because you are in charge of screening and prevention attached to the TRHA. And when you see women coming, because you see this, I mean, I've been there. When women come to you, give us an idea of what the experience is like.
Okay, right. As you say, good morning, viewers. As you say, they come to us first, and education. Now, when a woman comes into the department and they come for pap smear, they don't say breast examination first. I am the one who would say, well, you're going to have one today. Right? And at that point, I would educate them on what they're looking for. I tell them the issues surrounding breast cancer and so on. I even give them that information for their daughters, their cousins, and so on.
The other women in their lives.
The other women in their lives, right? We do encourage men. I do teach men to do this too, right? Because the men are the ones sometimes that would say, you know, babe, something is wrong with that breast. It does not feel right. And
particularly if you know these breasts.
Exactly. And I've had a father coming in to make appointment for his daughter and so on, and I was so proud. Yes, so we do get a lot of women. We do a lot of breast examinations every day. And if we find any sort of abnormalities, we refer to the hospital, and this is where Nurse Frank may come in if something is really, really abnormal and cancer steps in.
All right. Is there still a fear and a taboo surrounding breast cancer in Tobago? I mean, you share the stats. 1 woman is diagnosed every day. 2 women are dying every 3 days. Is there still a fear, a phobia, taboo about talking about breast cancer, being diagnosed? Is it still hidden? Do people still, well, you know, keep it a secret? Well, you know, this one has. Does it still happen, or because of the numbers, because of the stats you just shared, is it now an open discussion?
It's not.
Oh yeah, to a point, it's not. You have half and half. Because some women will come into the department and say, listen, I want these babies checked.
Right.
And then you would have some who would say, you know, I'm trying to get my sister to come, but she says she don't want nobody to see her breasts. And so it's a sort of taboo in terms of what we were taught to, that the breast is a private area.
But we were taught to hide them when they started to come in. So our parents gave us the training bras, so we were taught to hide them. So there was even a joke some years ago. If a woman is changing her clothes in a room and a man walks in, the first place we cover would be here. We don't cover here. We cover here. Why is that? Because we were taught to hide these. We weren't born with them, but as they started coming in, we were taught to hide, cover them up.
To cover them,
cover the tatas.
Yes.
All right. So some persons talk about it, some don't.
Yeah. Some are very open, but some very closed,
For screening, they are open. For diagnosis, when the cancer is there, we don't get them talking about it. People hide when they have cancer. It's a taboo. I don't know. I am going to die. I don't want anybody to know. You're hiding.
Let me ask you, apart from the screening and the education, is there a support system in place for persons diagnosed with breast cancer, cervical cancer, prostate? Is there some type of support mechanism?
There isn't any concrete support mechanism. There is a support group for breast cancer, made up of cancer survivors.
A functional group?
A functional group.
Right.
But there isn't a concrete support system to say, as soon as you diagnose, one of the referrals you get is to go here. No. You get referral to the oncology unit, and we at the oncology unit, the nurses and our lone doctor, we have to do everything for our patients.
Let's talk about the nurses and the lone doctor for this one oncology unit to service over 65,000 persons on the island. Let's talk about that lone doctor. Now, Nurse Frank, uneasy is the head that wears the crown. And I've been to the oncology unit several times, and we see the same nurses and the lone doctor. If you could be in charge for a day, what sort of changes would you make to be able to create the environment that is necessary for treating persons with cancer, women with breast, cervical, men with prostate? What sort of changes would you make if you could change it for a day?
The first thing I would do is to establish a support system, psychological support for the patient and their relatives.
Speak the truth, go ahead.
Because the patients are really stressed. It's difficult for the patients and their relatives to cope. So the first thing we'll have is a council on board.
Right.
And then we'd move to expanding the unit. The place is very small. We do our best in the small space. But if we could have it expanded, we'll have a lot of services put in that would benefit them.
What are some of the services that you would go
Palliative care.
Go ahead.
Patient must need palliative care. It's a supportive care that they would need closer to the end of life. And we start palliative care from the beginning. Diagnosis. Dietitian support system.
Go ahead.
Patients tend to, I don't know what to eat. As cancer step in, I don't know what to eat. A children support unit, because wow, we have a lot of young mothers. And they have children. A children support unit. We need something to care for the children. We must have that.
You're on the road. I mean, you're talking there.
Have that.
And I'm thinking back to my treatment. My treatment was not in Trinidad and Tobago, but as you're talking, this is what I got. This is what I was exposed to. And I want to ask Rose here, Nurse Ambrose, at this time, with regards to screening, persons coming in for screening, give us an idea of the timeline between screening, and diagnosis, screening and results.
That is a touchy subject here.
Because I'm trying to make it make sense.
Yes. The client comes in, do the pap smear. At this point in time, we have a sort of space between getting the results back in a timely manner. I've had to take it upon myself in the benefit of the clients, and some clients would take their pap smear, their sides privately, and to get it back in a timely manner. But we are working on it, as I was told several meetings ago, that it's been worked on. So the time that they do the pap smear to the time that they get the results, what we need to do is have it back in a timely manner, just in case, yes, that you have like high grades, meaning precancerous cells being seen on the smear itself, in order for that woman to have the proper intervention and referral. So we do have a little time lapse between it, but as I say, we try whoever can go and get their pap smears in a week and a half, their results, then we facilitate them. But as I say, the TRH is working on it.
They're working on it.
Yes.
Weeks to months is a long time.
It is.
And in some cases, it's over a year before some persons get the results. So by the time they screen, it's looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
And by the time they get the results, all hope seems to be gone.
Yes. Well, I won't say all hope is gone, because at that point in time, I do fight for my clients.
I understand.
I do. I mean, when I realized, look, 3 months, 4 months, I am up. Before that, I'm up at the hospital, at the lab. Perhaps they're tired of me, seeing me when they see me
but
coming.
We need to be people. We need to be able to trust the system.
Yes. So I do go and give a push, and sometimes they try their best to help, but you need to have that support system for them also, right? We need more staff, I think, for reading the slides, for the cytology and so on. So yes, we do have a little lapse where results are concerned, because sometimes if you do a pap smear now and it comes back 6 months down the road that you have a high grade, the time that you did it, it was there.
That's right.
You understand? It was there. So you need quick intervention.
And that's what I'm saying here. This calls for this calls for a serious overhaul, because we're dealing with people's lives. At the end of the day, we're dealing with people's lives. I lost 2 friends in the space of 3 months late last year. And these are persons who would have gone through surgery, done chemotherapy. It was said to have been gone, and then mere weeks later,
they regressed.
It has returned, and they passed away. A viewer on the live is asking, how do you all deal psychological with breaking all this bad news? How is it? Now, I heard Nurse Frank, you mentioned a while ago, if you could be, my question was, if you could change it for a day, what would you do?
What
and
will
you
I
did,
add?
right. So how is it done now?
Let me just answer this. When the results come back to us, if it is high grade, meaning precancerous or so, I get the client in. I never give results by phone. I get the client in, and when they see, sometimes you call somebody and they say, oh God, I have cancer. I said, come in, let us discuss this. Don't start that yet.
Yeah.
And I would do my part of the counseling. I invite them to bring their relative in for support if they need to do so, right? We always ask for next of kin when we are taking history. So that person, we ask for somebody who, if anything, we can, get extra help for that person.
Okay. Yeah. Viewer on the live here is asking, but she's stating here that she got both done at the Scarborough Health Center, and they were very professional. So that would be with you, Rose. No,
we try our best to create that environment for women.
And that is very true. I've been there, and you couldn't ask for a better person. I often say if it's one person, I don't mind seeing his pros, okay? But I joke about it, but I'm very serious. She's very professional. Her touch is very light. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's looking for, and you feel very comfortable, and you don't feel embarrassed at any point in time, at any point. So I'm saying, get up, go, get screened, get tested.
Yes.
Okay, early detection is the best protection.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
it is.
All right. So, ladies, I want you here in wrapping up as we talk about International Women's Day, women taking time for themselves. How important is this, and why they should get up today and go out there and start the week off having an idea of where you are, what you're about, and what would be your next step?
Your health is your wealth. Without good health, you cannot achieve the numerous amount of things that we women would like to achieve, such as caring for the home, caring for the family, a whole host of things.
Yes. And I just want to highlight this. May I say to employers, please, when your female employees come to you and say, I'm going to have a pap smear or breast examination, please give them that time to come. Because if they are not well, they can't come to work, right? Family would be losing income.
Yes.
Mothers, children will be losing mothers and so on. So please, I'm in the process of sending out letters to employers to ask them to partner with the TRHE to allow their female employees to have better health by coming to have their screening.
All right, a quick question coming in here, and it's for you nurses. As women, what do you all do for psychological self-care as a nurse? Because you'll see some things.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, some of the things that you see, and then you have to say some things, and it's not easy things that you've got to say. So how do you deal with it?
For me, I do outdoor stuff. I like outdoor stuff. I do hiking, I do running, I do gardening, I do outdoor stuff.
And you're able to break.
And I am able to deal with it. I have been in it for years and I'm coping fine.
As she said, I've been in it for years, internationally and here. And I cope pretty well. I take it on board. At times, you know, most of it, all the time I take it on board, but I distress myself. Why? Because I have to go the next day to deal with it again. Now, may I just say this quickly? Abroad, when I would have seen clients in this area, we have somebody to offload on at the end of the month.
Yes.
That was done for us. So it would be nice if there's somebody we can go to who we can offload if we need to and when we need to. Because we take a lot on board. It's not easy to see a client crying or having all that emotions. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And we deal with it every day. Yes.
All right, and I say here, better steps, better initiatives need to be put in place for our women in Tobago. Very quickly here, one of the viewers on the live says, getting results for any test done in Tobago space is too long through the hospital. CT scan is the next one. I hear you loud and clear. Another viewer says, thank you all so much for that initiative. The workplace need to be compassionate towards their workers. Definitely. And this is a call, even as we speak, a call to the Secretary for Health, Dr. Faith B. Israel. More needs to be done. More needs to be done now. When we talk about cancer, breast cancer, cervical and prostate, we're talking about people's lives. We're talking about our mothers. We're talking about our fathers. We're talking about our daughters, our sons, our uncles, our grandparents, our aunties. We're talking about lives. So it's not good enough. It's not good enough to have screening today and results next few months. It's not good enough to have screening today and results next few years. Screening today, results in a matter of days. We can do it. The money is spread around, all around. Let some come to this area that has been neglected for so many years. We're talking about people's lives. So we want to thank you so much for joining us for this segment. We've got lots more coming up this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Ladies, we want to thank you for being with us this morning. And it was certainly a pleasure being able to guest this fact.
I would just like to invite each and everyone down to the Esplanade on Wednesday, the 8th International Women's Day, where the TRHA would have a health fair. Lots and lots and lots of giveaways from 9 until the end, which is at 4. So we have giveaways right through the day.
What day is that?
Wednesday, the 8th of March. That is International Women's Day on the Esplanade.
Thank you so much.
And they will be having information too, because you have different speakers coming to give a talk. Yeah.
All right. We're going to be there with bells on. All right, ladies, viewers, we're going to switch gears. In fact, we continue this morning focused on women because it is International Women's Day 2023. And coming up next, Brittany is going to be chatting with Ornella Douglas, who is the business operations coordinator attached to TEMA. And it's all about TEMA through the years, TEMA's 25th anniversary. So lots more coming up on the program, viewers. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
October will never be better. With Tobago, carnival fever. Okay, passage and come.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
We live where you vacation. Come let we go, come let we go, come let we go to sweet Tobago. Come let we go, come till you know. Come find your soul in sweet Tobago. Come let we go, come let we go, come let we go to sweet Tobago. Come let we go, come till you know. Come find your soul in sweet Tobago.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Welcome back, viewers. And we just had a very insightful interview with Rhea and the Karen Frank and Rose Ambrose from, of course, the oncology unit of the Tobago Regional Health Authority, and of course, sharing the fact that 1 woman per day can contract breast cancer is something very serious that we need to take care of. So, of course, persons, please, as we continue to celebrate International Women's Day, please make sure and test, get your check out. But now we are going to turn to something more lighter and, of course, more eventful, because I am joined now with a lovely woman, a lovely young woman who I know very well from our NGO work and also from our school work. This is Ornella Douglas, and she is here on behalf of the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, TEMA. But before we get into that, happy pre-International Women's Day, Ornella. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Brittany, and same to you. And thank you and the Tobago Updates team for having me this morning.
Lovely. And I see you're already wearing green because, of course, one of the colors for International Women's Day is green and also purple. So I'm looking forward to seeing
it. Was intentional.
It was intentional. Yes. Lovely. So we're going to be here talking about TEMA. Yes. And of course, many of us know in Trinidad and Tobago, and especially in Tobago, that TEMA is the disaster management agency that we turn to anytime something happens. We always look out for their notifications. They let us know if a tree fell in an area, if something in a road is blocked. So of course, we are here talking about what exactly TEMA has been up to. So tell us, TEMA, 25 years already.
Yes, the big 25, our silver anniversary. We are celebrating this year on the 9th of March.
9th of March?
Yes.
So that's this week, one day after International Women's Day.
On Thursday we are celebrating, and on Thursday we will celebrate with our staff. So we'll have some team building exercises. We're going to cook, play games and stuff like that. And then later in the month we will celebrate with our stakeholders and our partners in the disaster management
fraternity.
Yes.
So let's recap TEMA, because 25 years, that means that they have been around. So what has happened with TEMA throughout the years? Like, what has really gone on?
Okay, well, a lot has happened. Actually, we started as NEMA Tobago.
NEMA?
Yes, NEMA, National Emergency Management Agency.
Okay.
And then, well, Trinidad decided to adopt ODPM, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management.
Right.
So it would have been imprudent for us to continue with, we have a localized jurisdiction, but continue to carry a national name, a name ascribing that we have national authority.
Okay.
So the Executive Council decided to adopt the Tobago Emergency Management Agency on the 9th of March, 1998.
1998,
Yes,
wow,
so
okay.
that's how we are celebrating 25 years.
So this is under the office of the Chief Secretary, or
Yes,
whose
we
division?
are a department, well, an agency under the office of the Chief Secretary.
Okay, and tell us about the organizational structure.
Okay, so at the very head, we are directed by Mr. Alan Stewart.
Okay.
And then we have middle management, most of which are women, I must say.
Oh, that's good. Can you say that again so that persons know that?
Most of the middle managers at TEMA are women, of course. Right, so just big up you, Malora Abeko, we have Melissa Jack, myself, Sarah Nwelling, and just a whole lot of others. And then we have women leading teams in the field as well, for our CERT teams. And then, so we have a CERT department. I'm not sure if you are aware of the CERT department. They are the actual responders. So you see those yellow vans.
Yes, the yellow trucks, right.
Yes, and we have two bases, one at Speyside and one in Moriah. Speyside is currently under reconstruction.
Okay.
So that is basically, so we have the office staff who do the coordination and the management, and then we have CERT who are the responders.
So what is a typical day at TEMA? I know it's not going to be typical because every day is a unique one, but what would be a typical day?
Right, and I'm glad you said that because, you know, most people think that we are the hurricane agency, so we only activate when the hurricane season comes about. But every day in TEMA is a unique experience because we deal with coordinating all types of emergencies, from an oil spill to, as you said, there a tree fell in the road, to a landslide. We deal with all of that. We coordinate efforts towards, you know, bringing the public back to that state of normalcy. We deal with that. So I might go into work. Last week I went to work on Friday and there were some persons who were lost in the forest. So we had to coordinate that effort. Today I might go in and hear that there is a tree blocking the road somewhere. So we need to notify the public about that. We need to coordinate with our different agencies. If there is affecting a power line, we need to call the relevant agencies, and then our CERT teams will be out there, you know, responding, bringing back the Tobago to the normalcy that we expect.
Now, I must say there is a very strong social media presence for TEMA because we are always staying on the loop to know what is happening, and especially like last year when we had a lot of the very strong rains. So every day we were almost like, okay, what was the notification from TEMA to know where we have to pass? Do we have to go this way? And even knowing that they all had an app, I believe, that used to be very interactive as well. So a lot of technology has been advancing through TEMA.
Yeah, we are technology focused because that is the way disaster management is going these days. You know, you need people to get the information right away so that they could act accordingly. Because imagine you are going to work today and you don't know that a tree is blocking the path that you usually take to work, so that you need to take an alternative route. Right? So we always keep on top of our notification, our communication. So we have our communication officer, Zana Nwelling, and her team, they work to make sure that you get the information that you need on all our social media platforms, as well as our app, Virtual Vision. That is TEMA's app that you go on. You could send in reports, and you also are notified if anything is going on.
So when you say on all social media, Facebook, Instagram,
everything,
WhatsApp,
Twitter, we on everything.
Lovely.
Everything.
That's lovely to hear. So knowing that we have Natural Preparedness Month that is going to be happening in September, will there any plans for TEMA to celebrate that as well?
Of course, we always celebrate our causes. Right? So our cause, which is disaster and emergency management. So we do something special to celebrate that month. And this year, I'm not too sure what is the plan as yet, but I could tell you what's the plan that we have for this month of our anniversary. We're celebrating our anniversary, so we have a lot of activities this month. So it will kick off on Thursday with us celebrating our staff. So we come together as we usually do. We cook, we're going to play games, and just have a fun day on Thursday.
Lovely.
And then we will extend that later in the month to the public. So we will start with a Hit the Road caravan. So we're rolling into the different communities of Tobago. We're going to the east first, so Roxborough, Charlottesville, those areas. Then we go to the north, and then the west, and then Scarborough will be a big celebration on that day. Yes, we will be in Scarborough. So look out for us in those 4 areas. But, you know, it will extend beyond the month of March. As we go into hurricane preparedness, we will extend it to different communities, because we also want to encourage persons to join our CERT volunteer corps, right? So you could help your community to Because when something happens, you are the person in your community. You have to help your community because we have limited first responders.
Okay.
So before the first responders get into there are things that you could do to help your community to come back to some sort of a normalcy before we come in and help you. Because we have to prioritize as well.
Yes.
And then we have our behind the curtain store. So we're inviting you and the Tobago Updates team. When that time comes, you come to TEMA, you see how we operate.
Okay.
Or everything behind the scenes, all the software, all the things that we use, and the persons as well behind what's the emergency response. But we're starting first with our partners in the Office of the Chief Secretary, and then we'll extend to the public. So we invite the public to look out for that time.
Okay, lovely. So before we wrap up, I just want to ask one simple question. What made you decide to be a part of TEMA?
Well, to be honest, when I finished university, the University of the West Indies, I just wanted to get a job. But as time went along, I enjoyed being a part of this noble Diamond Standard organization. I like helping persons. I like getting the island prepared for any eventuality, right? So I really enjoy it.
Yes, and as a woman, that's really important to see that we can be in all these different spheres and do well and thrive in it. So really amazing for that. So Ornella, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure having you this morning talking about TEMA throughout the years and also what's happening for its 25th anniversary. We really appreciate it and we look forward to see all the things that's going to be happening for TEMA this year. Up next, we have Miss Onika Mars, President of the Women of Substance, and she's going to be here talking with us about the I Am Beautiful, the workshop. This definitely is going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. We are here live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Welcome to L'Image Parfait Day Spa, your urban oasis and wellness center. Our services includes massages, treatments, facials, pedicures, weight management, detox programs, and much more. Call us today at 624-1452 or 720-7474. Trinidad locations and Bonacore, Tobago at 273-7772. Let us treat you like the VIP you are.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Okay, passage and come.
Place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, and it's all about women this week. As we mentioned earlier in the program, it's about International Women's Day being commemorated on Wednesday the 8th of March. An all-female hosting cast all-female guests. And wrapping us up this morning, we are chatting with Miss Onika Mars, who is the president and founder of Women of Substance. And viewers, this morning we are talking about the I Am Beautiful, or I Am Beautiful, the workshop. She'll tell us more about it. Good morning and welcome to you, Onika.
Good morning, Ria. Thank you so much for having me, and happy International Women's Day in advance.
And happy International Women's Day in advance to you as well.
Thank you.
But you know, we celebrate all week long. All week long. Women on the program, women hosting. It's all about the women. Like I said, maybe we need a couple of women camera persons in the background doing the editing and stuff, but we'll get to that. All right. So, Onika, Women of Substance, this is your baby. This is your NGO. You've been engaged in this for the last few years. It's taking you far and wide. It seems as though you are more out of home than in. But while we're here, we're going to definitely use you. So tell us about I Am Beautiful, the workshop.
Okay, so I Am Beautiful, the workshop happens on Wednesday, God's willing, from 9 a.m. Now, we chose to do that workshop because we are all about empowerment, right? It's International Women's Day. We want to celebrate our women. It is a workshop that speaks to self-awareness, discovering your inner beauty. Yes, speaks to self-confidence and, you know, that entire focus on self. And we want the woman to know that, you know what, if even my focus is on self, that's okay. You are not selfish. Yes, so we have someone coming in, we have speakers coming in to talk to us about that. We also have a healthcare practitioner coming in to talk to us about women's issues, menopause, sexually transmitted diseases, sexual and reproductive health. And we are hoping to have also makeup artists so that, you know, they could do a little makeover. And this event is being sponsored by Republic Bank Limited. So, you know, I really want to thank Republic Bank for believing in our vision and understanding the importance of them playing that role, you know, their corporate social responsibility.
But why did you feel the need to deal or to treat with this particular topic at this time, the I Am Beautiful, bringing out the inner beauty in women? Why did you feel the need to do that now?
Because we have a lot of women who are broken. We have a lot of women who don't understand who they are as individuals, and we've been having clients coming in over the past few weeks and months who struggle with self-esteem and don't even know who they are. So that is why we included that segment, so that persons could understand who they are, understand their why, become aware of who they are as an individual. Yeah, because it's important to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then, you know, you're in a state of confusion. So we want to, you know, bring that out and have persons come to that place of understanding.
And is this younger women? Is it the more matured women? Is it as a result of the midlife crisis? I was at the Shore Park Cultural Complex over the weekend for Alan Charles's midlife crisis production. And there were so many issues that came out of it, so many real life issues. Is it that women going through midlife, is it the younger women who are having these self-esteem issues of not knowing who they are, not valuing themselves?
Believe it or not, Ria, it's not age specific. Yeah, we have a lot of older women who don't know who they are. Yeah, and
who would have gone through life, husband, children, grandchildren,
right, and faced a lot of challenges. Yeah, you know, we specifically deal with domestic violence and abuse. And Ria, if you don't know who you are, it means that you don't know your worth, and there are things that you accept because you really don't know who you are. So you're thinking, well, okay, it's okay to accept less than. It's okay to settle for less. Yeah. So we do not have a specific age group that we are targeting or we have targeted. We've opened it up to any age. Once you're 18 years or over, you can attend. However, because it is at our Shangri-La Women's Empowerment Center and the space doesn't permit a huge crowd, we have a limit of 10 women. So we are going to work with those 10 women, a nice intimate group, so that we can have direct communication with the women, have them in a space where they are comfortable, they are safe to share, and receive whatever information is needed. And they are also open to asking questions about health challenges and stuff that they may face. One of the discussions we are going to have with the healthcare professional is about the HPV vaccine, right? And the women will have an opportunity to ask questions, and also if they are interested, they can receive the HPV vaccine on site.
Is this by invitation only, or is this open to the public, considering the space and the number of women that you're catering to?
Right, so it's not, it is by invitation only because of the space, so we really cannot accommodate a lot of women, so that is why we limit it to 10, maximum 11. So what I would throw out is, if there is somebody who is listening and they want to attend, they can reach out to me at 485-9534, and we'll keep a space for that special person who probably saying that, you know what, I'm listening to Ms. Mars and I think that I would benefit from this workshop. Yeah?
All right. And I have to commend you and Women of Substance for the work that you've been doing, Onika, not just here but abroad, because again, your experience, your background, your pain has really been pushing you forward.
Yeah, thank you so very much. You know, as I was sharing, excuse me, with a friend this morning, it's March, it's the beginning of March, and I feel as though we've already come to the end of March, because March is totally booked up. You know, it's travel, it's DV sensitization sessions, it's CSW 67, it's, you know, it's everything happening. But I thank God that in the midst of me having that painful experience, I'm able to use that experience to share with others and empower others. Yeah, and for me, that is contentment right there. I am fulfilling purpose. Even as Women of Substance celebrates 6 years on the 24th of March, I mean,
a lot happening in March.
Yes, definitely. You know, so we are really, really grateful to God. I thank God that, you know, He has turned my mess into a message. So I recognize time and time again that the pain I went through, it was because purpose had to be birthed. Yeah.
There is definitely purpose to your pain. A friend told me some years ago, don't waste your pain. There is purpose in your pain.
Yes, I agree with that.
You don't always see it at the time, but know that God has your steps ordered. There is purpose to your pain. So, Onika, we want to thank you very much. Lots coming up this week for you as well. But we're not going to share it just yet. We're going to wait until Wednesday, and we're going to share with the public what you're going to be engaged in on Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
But just remember, keep her in your prayers. I'm just saying, keep her in your prayers, okay? Lots of big things happening with her. So all the best to you.
Thank you very much, Ria. Thank you for having me, and happy International Women's Day to you and to Trinidad and Tobago. I want to say to the women out there, celebrate who you are. Know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and know that all things are possible through Christ. So regardless of what situation you may be facing at the moment, know that it is temporary. Yeah, so that is my International Day message to the women of Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's a good place for me to say amen. All right. Thank you so much, Onika Mars, for being with us this morning. Viewers, stay where you are. Stay where you are. Brittany's going to be back on set as we wrap up. So stay where you are. We've got some interesting information to share with you. And so we encourage you this morning, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Yeah, so viewers, we are back. We are back even as we're getting ready to wrap things up.
Amazing.
Brittany?
Yes, real.
Interesting morning.
Very humbling, insightful, and eye-opening morning this morning, because seeing there were so many things that you didn't realize was so strong. And even from the last presenter with Onika, hearing her story, I have heard her story before, but hearing her say it again, I am like, wow. I'm really, truly inspired by her.
And no matter how many times she shares that story, you're still awed and wowed. And, and you know, you've heard it 10 times, but you can hear it 10 times again. As painful as her story was, there was purpose to her pain.
Agreed. And that is something we should always let persons know as well. Even though you might be going through something, there is a purpose and there is a reason why you go through it, because you never know what your testimony can do for another person.
Definitely. And as well, that second interview we had with, in fact, that was the first interview with Nurse Ambrose and Nurse Karen Frank.
Yes.
Again, I want to say, because I know better, I know that better can be done. And an aggressive approach needs to be taken to healthcare in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, but I want to keep it home to Tobago.
Yes, because
all right, a lot more can be done. A lot more can and must be done.
Indeed, I do agree with you. And let me just say, Rhea, you are also an inspiration, because you have been able to just surpass it and be here and be your same self and just be true to yourself. So to you, I celebrate you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and to you as well. I mean, you're one of those young persons. I didn't realize that you were teaching at Bishop's until I was chatting with someone this morning before coming in. She said, oh, yes, she's one of the best. And I'm like, wow, she needs to know that.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that. But it definitely was a very fun show this morning as we continue to celebrate International Women's Week. And I'm loving the theme, embrace equity, because, you know, most times we talk about equality. But equity means that everyone has a fair share.
That's right.
And that is even more important than just equality, because it's like, okay, yes, you have a seat at the table, but you
seat
have
at the table,
equal portions at the table, and everyone is get that same kind of distribution to be able to thrive. I love it. I really do.
And we continue to celebrate it all week long.
Yes,
all right?
Of course.
It's all about our women.
So, you know, every time I come here, I always give a Spanish or French word. So,
what's it going to be?
Today, it's going to be la mujer.
La mujer.
Yes, love it.
Which I love. I mean, like how it sounds, but what does it mean?
So it means woman. So
la mujer, no la mujer.
No la mujer. But definitely, so every time I come, we're gonna have a different word. But of course, since it is about International Women's Day, so how do we say that in Spanish? We say, and next time I'm gonna have to make sure that the producers get it to say it on caption. But it is Feliz Dia de la Mujer.
Feliz Dia la Mujer.
Nice, very good, very good.
The roll of the tongue. The roll.
So definitely it has been, and even chatting with Ornella and seeing what TEMA has been about. I had no idea there used to be NEMA. So that was really insightful to see the transgression of TEMA to what it is now, how we enjoy it, how we make sure and check it to see if everything going on, especially during the hurricane season, because we don't play with TEMA.
That's
so
right, we don't play with TEMA. All right, Feliz Dia. Feliz Dia.
Dela.
Mujer. Feliz Dia. Mujer. Viewers, we're going to leave it there. All right. So we want to thank you for being with us today. We're going to head on over into GMT with Candice. So, Brittany, we take them out. How do you say, have a great day?
Okay. Que disfrutes de una día maravillosa y este es lunes, so feliz día.
What she said. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Tonight in the THA Panchams, we have 14 dynamic bands. We have 2 bands in the single pan category, 7 bands in the small conventional band category, and 5 large conventional bands. Finally, tonight, I would like to wish these bands best of luck, and I hope that they are able to bring pan lovers and supporters sweet melodious music.
Take it from me, Farley Chavez Augustine, Chief Secretary, that the fact that stones are being pelted is a good sign that the pan fraternity in Tobago is not just doing well, but bearing excellent fruit that is desired by all. Congratulations to all of you. Good luck to all the bands this evening, and we look forward to keen, healthy competition.
was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Tobago-born lightweight boxing champion Claude Noel is now the subject of a police investigation for elder abuse. A cell phone video circulated online depicting Noel with an amputated leg struggling to see and find his walking stick while the videographer looks on. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services released a statement saying that Noel appears to be at a home in Tacarigua. However, they were unaware of his amputated leg. A visit is planned to assess his condition and provide a prosthetic leg. Noel is a beneficiary of the Special Achievers Grant. Meanwhile, the police are investigating the case for possible elder abuse based on the video. And some other news of sport, Dwight York revealed the details regarding his bitter exit from Makota Bulls in Australia, accusing the club of cowboy behavior and unprofessional conduct. York's outburst triggered an immediate parting of ways, with club sources inferring his comments breached the terms of his contract. However, York revealed that the outburst came after he found out that one of his players was fired from the team as the other players were boarding a bus to a match. He said the hierarchy lacked class and should have called him into the office to address the situation, but instead blocked the player from going back to the club. And nationally, the opposition sent a team of lawyers to East Port of Spain seeking to represent residents evicted following clashes with HCC officials and law enforcement officers on Friday. The UNC said they will defend the citizens' rights and freedoms against the PNM's attempt to create an East Moorings in East Port of Spain. However, the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, told the UNC not to use the situation to gain political mileage. Duke defended the residents on Friday and highlighted the plight. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Well, viewers, now, if you've been following what's been going on lately, especially in the news, you would have noticed some rumblings, I guess, coming from the fishing industry here in Tobago regarding the increase of fish prices and some of the things that they've had to take on, the added cost of operation that has led to the threats of increased prices of fish. So to just give us a bit of perspective on that this morning and to give us some more details, we have none other than Miss Alice Cooper, who is the Alice Corshi, who is the Secretary of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Candice.
All right. Now, first of all, so we are seeing an increase of fish prices for the Lenten season. Can you give us an idea exactly, what these increases are?
Okay. Well, these increases came about because of the cost for fuel, the rise in fuel, and the cost for fuel to go fishing now. Just recently we had the oil company doing some exercise out there, and you heard fishermen complain about they damaging their fishing devices, and having them damage the fishing devices. Now the fisher folk have to go further to catch fish, and having to go further, they have to bear the higher costs.
Now, when you say further, like how far? Because I mean, like what was the traditional range?
Okay. As we would know, fishermen would go something like about 10 miles, 15 miles, and they would catch a lot of fish. Now fishermen have to go like 35 and 40 miles to
So
get
twice
fish.
the journey.
Twice the journey, which would cost more fuel. 1, 2. When they had the fishing device further inland, now you know a fish device will attract the fishes. They will stay in that area. It is gone now, so the fishes will go. Another thing too, the oil companies are moving these rigs at nights with light. And if you know about fish, fish would follow light. So they are following the rigs with the light, and they are going further. So it creates more hardship on fisher folk here in Tobago.
So, and then I know you all having concerns also with the increase of fuel.
Yeah, well, the increase of fuel is a burden, and then we are not being subsidized as we are supposed to, because it's like 20 cents per liter. That is nothing. That is, you know, a man going out there buying $700-800 in fuel to make a trip, getting 20 cents back on that. Can if we do the maths? That's
And
nothing.
roughly, okay, I mean, just to break down, because, you know, some people are saying, I mean, perhaps that increase is unreasonable. But of course, I know a lot of people also don't understand what it takes to be a fisherman now, or a fisherwoman. But, you know, I mean, roughly how much of that cost that you pay for fuel, how much does that cut into your profits for fish?
It cut into your profit for fish something like about 20%. Then remember, it's just not the fuel. You have to buy lines, tackling. You have to look for bait. 1, 2. The fishermen have to have ice to store the fish. Then you have to come back there. Then how much could you sell a vendor your fish for to make a profit? Then for the vendor to sell, some of them decide, you know, let's sell the fish ourselves. It's really hard. And there's where the fisher folk come in. We the women, because we are there now to assist the men in getting this job done.
And then in terms of the, I know are there tax breaks or compensation at all for the equipment that you guys use?
Okay, like the engine for the fishers. Okay, you buy an engine, you will get a tax break. But then they're telling you the engine you're supposed to buy is at a certain horsepower according to the size of your vessel. Then an engine at that horsepower can't carry the fishers the distance they would want to go fish and come back in time. So they will buy a bigger vessel, and then they have no tax break on that bigger engine. They have no tax break on that engine.
But then it costs more fuel, and it's a heavier cost, operational
yes,
cost.
Everything is just keep going up. And as we know, everything is going up. Cost of living for everything. You would have paid something like about $2 for a hook. That same hook might cost you about $5 now. So everything is just going up.
And then in terms of, you know, the rebate for gas, are you guys able to access a rebate for gas?
Some of the fishers are able to. Yes.
And that's a 12.5% rebate, right?
Yeah. Some of the fishers are able to, but then remember they are only paying that on a quarterly basis. The amount of money you spend before you get it on a quarterly basis, and there's so much criteria to get it. Sometimes it becomes frustrating.
So what is some of the criteria that frustrates the process?
Okay, you have to get the engine register. You have to get the vessel in your name. There's a lot of intricacy to get registered and ready to get this gas rebate. And then at the end of the day, you still have to wait for every quarter to get the money. So as we would know, fishermen like to get the money at hand. They don't want to wait on all this system.
No, and then this rebate comes through the government, right?
Yes.
So, and you are also asking for an additional rebate now from the THA.
Yes, if the THA they come piggyback and give us something like 50 cents per liter, I think that would help very well for the fisher folk. We only ask for 50 cents. Put the remaining balance and bring it up to 50 cents per liter, and we would gladly appreciate it, because the fishing system that is operated here in Tobago is different from Trinidad.
And how so? Can you explain how is it different?
Okay, fishermen in Trinidad don't need to go all that mile to catch fish. We here in Tobago, we have to do it. As I explained to you, the expedition and the oil companies and all these kind of things. And then when the oil company come, they're telling you you can't fish in that area. And sometimes those are the area where the fishes are. Because for instance, off Speyside, Charlottesville, where they do their expedition, there is the spawning point for tuna.
Hmm.
And you know, right now for this Lenten season, people want the tuna.
Yes.
So the fishermen need to go all that distance to get the tuna.
Have you all noticed a change in the migration patterns, the spawning patterns of fish as a result of the explorations done by oil companies?
Sure, because like now, we would have flying fish in abundance here in Tobago. We doesn't have it as much as we did before.
And so is that just for this year, or?
It's for a period of time we have been observing it. Because even like the bigger fish, usually the kind of dolphin some of these fishermen are catching now. Small dolphin. Long ago, you know, the dolphin that small here.
And then what would you say to those people that are out there saying that, you know, some of your demands are unreasonable in terms of like the 50 cents rebate on liter of gas? You know, like how do you justify it against the critics?
Okay. I believe that the critics need to be more knowledgeable about what's taking place. I think if they get to sit down and have a conversation and understand the cost that the fishermen have to bear to go fishing, they would understand why we are asking for that rebate, one, and to understand why the fish price would go up if...
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so I want to also ask you, is the fishing industry taxed? Because I know that's another complaint that we hear from the public, is that, you know, fishermen are asking for some of these things, but are they paying taxes the same way the rest of the country does?
Registered fishermen would pay tax.
Right.
Most of the fishermen that are registered would have to pay tax, but some of them don't, right? And we have to understand that. But then I'm saying you might not pay the tax directly, but you might do it indirectly.
So, I mean, that's not an argument that people should use.
No, that's not an argument.
All right. And then when it comes to, you know, some of the things that you face when you go out there, because, I mean, I want to put it into perspective, because people, you know, you go by the side of the road, you go to the fishing facilities, you buy your fish, whatever, you probably haggle your prices with the vendors. But what a lot of people don't know is what it takes to catch a fish. What are the risks out there?
There's a lot of risk, because you can go there to catch fish. Like, for instance, we had a fisher went out yesterday to fishing, and he broke down out there. It's only because of the devices that he had that we could have contacted him, a satellite phone, and these are the things that help him assist. If Green Lily had was to bring him to board, he only came back this morning about 3-4 o'clock this morning. And you're leaving home 4 o'clock in the morning to go fishing. He had to spend all day out there trying to get back here. 3-4 o'clock this morning, he got to land. So I'm going to put a plug in for Green Lily for assisting our fisher.
Yes. Thank you so much. Right. I mean, and tell me a little bit about how they assist you guys. Like, is it that they're on call whenever, or?
Okay, what happened, right? Normally when you call Maritime, you call Maritime when you get in difficulties, and they would assist the closest vessel. You know, it's a law that if you see a fisher in difficulty and you didn't assist him, you can be held accountable for not assisting. So anybody that hear this, because there's a radio system, you know, you call out, and anybody that hear it might respond closest to you, you give your coordinates, and they can assist you.
Now, on that point, how is the association assisting fishermen to get their devices and make sure they have the right type of equipment, so whenever they get into difficulty, they can call for help?
Okay, the association is assisting in that we are going about and lobbying with these oil companies and all these fishermen provide things like satellite phone, because you know a satellite phone is very, very expensive.
Yes.
Satellite phone, we are advising fishers always wear your life jacket, have some form of communication, work with your supplies and all these kind of things.
And are they complying?
Most of them are. I must say most of the fishers are. Because on a daily basis, you might go by a landing site and you'll see most fishermen coming with a life jacket on. You might see them with this bucket. They have the radio, the satellite phone. They are equipping their vessels with GPS and all these kind of things.
And then are you guys also collecting data in terms of the fish that you catch?
Well, we had a project planned with the oil company to do a data collecting, and which is supposed to be on soon. So I cannot speak anything much on it until we get there.
All right. Now, as we're getting ready to wrap up this conversation, can you just give us an just take a moment to address the public on the increases for increase to the price of fish and so on.
Okay, well, what I can say to the public where fish is concerned, the price of fish, I know it's hard because living is hard here and we know it's very expensive, but you have to understand that the fishermen themselves has family to maintain, bills to pay, mortgage to meet and all these sorts of things, so they have to meet their dollar to make their money, and fishing is very hard. It takes a lot to catch a fish. And having to go all this distance are the reason why we are having having that increase in the fish prices right now.
All right. I want to thank you so much for being on with us and giving us a perspective. What's going on in the area of fishing? I mean, of course, it's not just our men out there, our women are also out there fishing, and it's something that we need to recognize, especially now that, as we're celebrating International Women's Day later on this week. So thank you for that work that you guys do to make sure we can have healthy food on our tables.
Okay, then thank you then, Candice. It was nice speaking with you.
All right, great. All right, we also have a lot more coming up on the program, so please don't go anywhere.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong.
October will never be better with Tobago carnival fever. Okay, passage and come.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
This is it.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace
super strong, and the vibes is never.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Well, viewers, we are switching gears now to just some conversations about the environment, specifically turtles, because we are at the start of the turtle watching season. The turtle watching season started on March the 1st. So just to give us an idea and perspective of some of the updates or what's new been happening when it comes to our turtles, a very important animal species to our ecosystem here in Tobago, is Miss Michelle Gazabon Manette. Hopefully I got that right, and I apologize. And she is the director of Seep Seas. And yeah, good morning and welcome to you. How are you?
Good morning, Candice. I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, so first of all, just when we are now at the start of 2023's turtle watching season. What can you tell us about just the health of the species of our turtles in Tobago?
Okay, great. Well, over the years I've been working with sea turtles in Trinidad and Tobago. I started off with my PhD research around the coast of Tobago, looking at turtles offshore. But I've also been affiliated with Save Our Sea Turtles Tobago, who do responsible for beach patrols in the Grand Corland Bay area, so from Back Bay to Grafton and Turtle Beach. Yeah, well, we've had some challenges the last couple of years with the pandemic. Beaches were closed, and that meant that our patrollers at some points were not able to go and patrol beaches. We've had some struggles with funding as well the last few years because a lot of the patrol operations had been run through a Green Fund project to Turtle Village Trust, and that Green Fund project came to an end a couple of years ago now. So funding is a lot less now for our patrollers, but SOS is gearing up to do what they can this season with what funds they have and with volunteers.
Okay, great. Now, we've had a lot of conversations over the years about, our sea turtles, how we need to protect them because, of course, for instance, like the leatherback sea turtles and so on, those are endangered species. And do you think that the messaging is sinking into the population? Are we really paying attention as a population?
Yeah, good question. I mean, we have one of the longest running turtle conservation programs around the world, really, is in Trinidad and Tobago, starting with Nature Seekers in the 90s and then SOS and Grand River Nature Tour Guide Association and so on. So we have a great history of it, and I think more and more we have a more informed population. They enjoy visiting the nesting beaches to learn about the turtles. I think maybe there are still some gaps that we want to work on, and that's partly where Turtle Spotter Challenge comes in, because we are interested in now learning more about the sea turtles that we have on beaches that are not patrolled regularly and also offshore. A lot of people, I think, don't realize that while we have nesting turtles visiting seasonally to nest, we also have juvenile turtles that live resident around our coasts all year.
Yes. And I mean, certainly, if you've gone out on a kayak or a boat or something like that, you're usually greeted by these wonderful creatures. So there is this. So you guys are engaged in this Sea Spotter Challenge. Now, I want to give you a bit more details because you just mentioned it a little while ago, but just some more details about this project and how the public can get involved with it.
Okay, great. Yeah, so this project came about because, as I said, I did my PhD research offshore Tobago. I did over 200 dives looking for turtles, documenting, how abundant were they on different habitats, different reef sites around the island. And that takes a lot of effort. That was done over a year and a half of field work. But we know that we have people on our shorelines all the time and offshore on boats, as I said, kayaking, snorkeling, diving, even trips down the islands. We have even private sector oil and gas boats and a lot of maritime activity where people might be observing sea turtles offshore. And so the purpose of this project, it's a citizen science project where we can get all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago involved to help contribute their information when they see turtles, and we will collate all that information and be able to have a better picture of where are our sea turtles distributed, where might be especially important critical habitats that need protection. We also expect we'll start getting more information to help us quantify different threats that they may be facing, such as entanglement in fishing gear or plastics. So it's a way that we hoping that everyone will get involved, join the challenge with us, challenge your friends to get involved, and let's work together to learn more about the turtles, and then from that information we will be in a better place to manage and conserve them.
And how important is it for us to protect our sea turtles? Why it is important? What do they contribute to our ecosystem?
Sea turtles are really important for our ecosystem, as you mentioned. You know, each of them has sort of a special or unique role, especially through the diets that they have. So, for example, we have green sea turtles are herbivorous. That means they feed only on seagrass and algae. Through their feeding on seagrass beds, they are actually cropping and keeping that seagrass bed healthy and productive. We see them on reefs as well, where they are feeding on macroalgae that might be overgrowing the reef and smothering the reef. So they keep that algae in check and keep our reefs healthy. Hawksbills feed primarily on sponge, which is another organism you find growing on the reefs in between the corals. And sponge grows very quickly and can actually outcompete your coral species. But hawksbills are one of the few animals that feed on sponge. There's a few other fish species, but hawksbills feed on them in really great quantities. So their action of feeding on the sponge on the reefs really helps maintain a balanced reef ecosystem, a healthier reef with more diverse corals and sponges together. We also, all the sea turtle species are very migratory. This means that they are carrying energy and nutrients from one place to another. So a lot of people may not think about it, but you know, our leatherbacks, for example, are feeding very far offshore in the North Atlantic. They feed on jellyfish, and then when the females come to our beaches and deposit their eggs, that is nutrients that they are depositing on the beaches that can actually help maintain healthy beach vegetation and coastlines.
And then what can you tell us about the actual health of the population of our sea turtles in Tobago? What have you noticed? I mean, have they seen any sort of improvement at all?
Yeah, on our leatherback nesting beaches that have been patrolled regularly for some years now, we've definitely seen improvement over the years in the numbers of nesting females. We've seen a big reduction in poaching. You know, in the 80s, there was a lot of poaching on the beaches, and that is much reduced now. It's almost eliminated on the beaches that are regularly patrolled. But we do know that we still have some issues with poaching, especially the hawksbill turtles that are found in a lot of other smaller beaches that are harder to access and patrol regularly. So we have ups and downs. I'd say that the leatherback numbers have been fairly consistent the last few years, and the hawksbill on our beaches. But as I say, we still have a lot of threats we need to pay attention to. We have these data gaps that we don't know much about the offshore turtles. And also, if you look regionally, we know that the leatherback population in the region has been in a very sharp decline in the past few years. So that is something to certainly watch, and there's a lot of work now on a regional action plan to address that leatherback population.
Has SOS been able to track any sea turtles in recent times? Because I know that sometimes you can place the GPS tracker on them.
Right. SOS has not done any of that recently. Those are very expensive pieces of equipment. We know that nature seekers in particular have been working with a group in Canada that tags turtles up in Canada as well. So we do have some data coming in from there of the route that leatherbacks take between Nova Scotia, Canada, and Trinidad and Tobago. In that way, what we do at SOS is we use flipper tags and pit tags. They are both tags that are applied to the turtle that have a unique code or number. It's like an ID number, so that each turtle is carrying around its ID card. So if it's encountered again, we can link back the information. We know that, all right, we saw this turtle 2 years ago and she's back this year to nest.
Nice. And you've seen quite a few repeat visitors in some.
Yes, yeah. So, and SOS data will show you we have a few hundred nesting events each year, and each turtle will be nesting 5 or 6 times on average.
Wow.
And over the time, we have data showing how often they nest. They're back every 2 to 3 years. Sometimes there's a longer gap because it all depends on how well they're feeding out there, how successful they're being. Then they have the energy and the resources to come back and nest.
And now, when it comes to the actual things that the public should know about sea turtles or just encountering them on the beach, right? What are some of the things that we need to be aware as a public now that we are in the turtle nesting season?
Yeah. I think one thing that I like to emphasize is turtles can nest on almost any beach. So we tend to think of a few beaches as being special, as being turtle nesting beaches, and we need to change our behaviors there. But I'd like to emphasize that even though we might have fewer numbers at other beaches, it's still important to respect the fact that turtles may be nesting there, and we want to make sure that they have good quality habitat where they can nest undisturbed to continue the population. So some of the things we want to be aware of is no artificial lights on the beach. That's whether you're walking around with a torchlight or whether you have a beachfront property and you have lights shining on the beach. Please find a way to shield those or turn them off during the nesting season in particular to make sure that our turtles can nest without getting disoriented. We also have issues on some beaches with driving on the beaches. So vehicles coming and driving on the beaches, that can really compact the sand and put pressure on the nests underneath. It can also cause ruts in the sand where hatchlings, when they're trying to get back to the sea, may be ending up stuck in these little depressions in the sand. Things like if you're camping on the beach, be careful, no fires on the beach, because again, you never know, there might be a nest incubating below, and that temperature is really important. Too high temperature will kill all those eggs. Also, smaller things like when you're visiting the beach, if you can avoid putting any like umbrella stakes into the sand, because again, you never know, there might be a nest below you. Please take your, all your litter with you off the beach. Take a bag, collect your garbage, and remove it from the beach and dispose of it properly, because all of that litter ends up in the sea or can end up entangling our turtles on the beach or at sea.
Now, can you give us some details about, just of the hatchlings for turtles and the survival rate? Because I know turtles lay quite a bit of eggs, but the ones that make it to adulthood, they're quite small in number.
Yes, exactly. So this is just how their natural life cycle works, is the females lay thousands of eggs over their lifetime. I mean, even in one season, a leatherback can lay about 600 eggs. And then she will come back every 2 to 3 years to lay more. But these are small, vulnerable animals and eggs. So from that 100 eggs in one nest, maybe only 60% will hatch. And then from those that hatch, they have to face this gauntlet, you could say, of predators waiting for them. Birds, fish as they leave the beach and swimming through the sea. And so we have very high natural mortality at that early life stage. And we find that only stops as the turtles get much bigger and attain their mature size, where there are not many predators that can take them anymore, right? So you'd have maybe orcas and large tiger sharks, maybe the possible predators at that age. But once sea turtles reach that mature stage, they are much better protected from predation. So we see that in their, when we look at the population of turtles, it's a strategy where they are trying to produce as many eggs as possible, as many babies as possible, just in the hope that a few of them will survive. And generally, the number you might get heard a lot is that only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will actually survive to an adult. And that's really not even taking into account all the threats, all the human-induced threats that they face as well. So our adult turtles are very, very vulnerable because of that as well. Where, the loss of one adult turtle is potentially the production of thousands of eggs you're losing out now. So it's very important that any threats we have, we try to manage that to allow the turtles to succeed.
Now, in terms of, being able to watch the sea turtles, to view them, like when they come to lay the eggs, because that is quite a wonderful experience just to see it. What should interested people, how should interested people get connected, or what should they keep in mind when going out there?
Yeah, so in Tobago in particular, the best place to go would be at Turtle Beach or possibly Grafton. I would suggest if you're interested, it's best that you go with a guide to make sure that you see the most turtles that you might be able to, and you're also interacting with them in a safe way, not to impact them negatively. So the hotline number for SOS is 328-7351. And you can call them and find out, the details, when is a good time to visit and where to meet the patrollers. And they will make sure that you have a really fantastic experience without negatively impacting the turtles. And, they ask for they ask for a donation towards their efforts to protect the sea turtles.
And of course, just to remind the viewers of the Turtle Spotter Challenge.
Yeah, if I could remind you, hopefully many of you have been seeing our ads online, follow our social media pages, and check out our website. The organization is called Species, SPESEAS. You can get involved in the Turtle Spotter Challenge. We've tried to make it as easily accessible for everyone. So there's multiple ways. We have an app called Turd that's free on Android and iOS. You can install that on your phone. The Turd app requires photos or videos. So once you see a turtle and you're able to capture a photo or video, we'd love if you can use the app in particular to share it with us. Basic information we want is the location of the sighting and the date of the sighting. The photos will also help us if we start gathering enough photos. There's a technique we plan to use called photo ID, because sea turtles have those pattern of scales on the side of their head, the hard-shell turtles at least, and taking that pattern is unique. It's like a fingerprint. So if we have enough photos, we will start to actually identify individual turtles and be able to say, that we keep seeing this individual at the same location, or look, this individual has moved from one island to another, and learn more about their movements and so on. And then the other avenues we have, it's whatever is easiest for you. There's a Google form that will take you through the information that we need. So if you don't have a photo, for example, but you know that you recently saw a turtle, we'd still like that information from you. Again, the basic thing is just the date and location. And if you are able to identify the species, that's great, and tell us any more details. But the minimum thing we need is date and location. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp or by email. And for those that might be familiar with the iNaturalist app, that's another app that naturalists use to share sightings of a variety of species of animals and plants. And so we have our Turtle Spotter Challenge project up on iNaturalist as well. So if you share your information with us there, we'll also be able to collate all this information from you.
Okay,
and so we really look forward. Since starting advertising, we've had an uptick in people responding and participating. And I'd also like to mention that we will be, out and about in public engaging with people directly, telling them about the project. So please look out for our species team roaming the streets.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Michelle Manette, for being on with us and for giving us an update on our sea turtles. And so viewers, yeah, you be on the lookout for our turtles and, you know, send in the data, because of course, these are all really important towards the health of our ecosystem, our marine life, everything. So yeah, get connected. But we have a lot more coming up for you on the program. So don't go anywhere, because we'll be back right after this quick break.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go, go.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable. Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Well, viewers, you are getting a chance to engage with us this morning. As you know, it's a Monday morning. It's a week where we're going to be celebrating International Women's Day. There's a whole lot happening right now. As you see, there's a cruise ship in harbor. I mean, it's so great to see those cruise ships back again. But of course, we know that there's a whole lot that needs to be done here in Tobago to ensure that we can maximize the profits that come out of those persons that are visiting via cruise ships. And you know, these are also the times that us as Tobagonians, we try to look at what we can do ourselves to see how we can maximize things, because I mean, it's not it cannot just be a government effort in terms of how we develop our tourism product. It has to be an all sector approach, and everybody does have a role to play. Yes, we know that there are some shortcomings from the government, from the THA and so on, where these things are concerned, but do not think that you have to leave it all up for them. And see if we could find ways to make the tourism product better, and you know, just help the efforts, because at the end of the day, it's all about Tobago winning, you know. And as we're speaking on tourism, you know, the THA actually has sent a delegation to IDB in Germany. And it's been led by Chief Secretary Fali Augustin. We also have Tourism Secretary Tashia Boris there as well, and a whole team. And of course, they will be meeting with a lot of cruise ships, a lot of cruise lines. Are going to be meeting with airlines and so on, as we seek to improve our visitor rates to the destination. Because of course, if we want to do well, we need to have people here on the ground. So we're hoping to connect with them actually later on this week. So you're going to want to look out for that. We'll be connecting with them in Germany, so we can know what's been happening, what are the updates, you know, what have they been able to confirm, what are the deals that they've been able to make that will benefit us. So, I mean, of course, this is your chance to give us a call and give us opinion on anything that's happening within our Tobago space at this point in time. The numbers are on the screen, and they are 284-6597 as well as 356-8833. So, if you want, you can give us a call and tell us what's going on now. There's something else that's happening. It was really fun in Tobago, and that is the Tobago Primary Schools Track and Field event. And this is being hosted by the Division of Education, Research and Technology, Sport in Education Unit. And this is going to be held tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th of March. And it's a free admission at the Dwight York Stadium from 9:30 a.m. So, folks, you need to get out there and support if you can, you know, because it's just really important to help encourage our young people in sport. Tobago has quite a lot of talent, and we need competitions like this to encourage them to get better with their skills and so on, so they can continue to be making us Tobago proud. I mean, a lot of the times, you know, we know our athletes only when they've gone to the Olympics or so on, but hey, they start right here in primary school and secondary school. And so, yes, we need to get out there and support them. So tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. at the Dwight York Stadium, even if you can just go for an hour or two, the admission is free. Give our youngsters that support so that they can get the assistance that they need. And well, viewers, you know, like I said, there continues to be a whole lot happening in this space. We've heard recently about, you know, over the carnival season, just all the drama that went on between Mr. Duke and Deputy Political Leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Ms. Keisel Jackson. And guess what? Tomorrow, Ms. Keisel Jackson is going to be on set with us on the morning show with Rhea and Brittany in the morning. So you're going to want to tune into that. You know, it's conversation is going to be rising from the ashes. I mean, that's been quite a controversial situation over the past few days. So, viewers, you would definitely want to gonna tune into this conversation. You know, Miss Jackson always has quite a lot to say, and it's just going to be interesting, and certainly an interview that you do not want to miss. All right, viewers. Well, seems as though we are running out of time, but I want to thank you for staying locked into us and for continuing to support Tobago Updates. We are here to bring you this best coverage of everything that's happening in Tobago. And so just continue to log in and continue to stay updated with us. All right, so it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
The energy filled the sky.